The next one is service health. So service health, it actually continuously monitors your application health or services health. For example, I have a production web application which uses your virtual machine service, web app service, networking service, database service, and load balancer service. So my application health depends on the health status of these services. For some reason, let's say the load balancer is failed. I mean, load balancer service itself is not working fine. Then my application is affected. For some reason, the networking service itself is not working fine. Then it affects my application. So for any reason, any of the services provided by Microsoft are not working fine, that would essentially affect our applications. So the health of your application relies on the Azure services that it depends on. Azure Service Health identifies any issues with Azure services that might affect. So this Azure Service Health continuously monitor all 200 Azure services. If there is any issue with Azure services, this Azure Service Health identifies and notifies you. So Service Health provides you a customizable dashboards, because let's say though Microsoft provides 200 services, we are only using 10 services in our application. Just now I've listed virtual machine, load balancer, virtual network, maybe monitoring, storage accounts. So you're only interested to see health status of those 5 services. So you can create a nice dashboard, and in that dashboard you can only include those 5 or 10 services that you are using, and that dashboard tells you, well, this service is good, this is unhealthy, this is healthy. So it tells you the health status of those services. So the service health monitors the service issues, planned maintenance activities, health advisories, security advisories. Let's go to the console and see how it looks like, the service health. So Azure Service Health identifies the service issues, planned maintenance activities, health advisories, and security advisories. So service issues, if there is any service issue, let's say, I mean, it is not from our side. Let's say inside the Microsoft data center, Azure Virtual Network in Singapore is not doing good. So it tells you that service issue in Singapore, VNet service is not good. So currently it says there are no issues at all, no active service issues found. If there are any, then it will be found in this amber, okay, orange color, but all are in blue. Let's say, I mean, you don't care about all the regions and all the services. There are only few services and few regions that you really worry. So that's when you apply the filters. What is the scope? Well, all the tenants and all subscriptions. Okay. What subscription? Well, pay as you go is the subscription. What regions? Well, instead of all regions, you would say, I'm more interested in seeing Central US, only in Central US and in Southeast Asia, which is Singapore. So Central US and Singapore, you see, they are far DR. One is Singapore, the other is US. Maybe I'm also including West US because one is near DR, the other is far DR. So these are the 3 regions that we are using. Okay. Out of 46 regions, only 3 regions we are interested in. So all services or specific services. So it is up to us. Out of 233, I'm, let's say, virtual machine, virtual network. I am, of course, we are using VPN. So VPN gateways, SQL databases, Azure load balancer, virtual machine scale set, or auto scaling. The same, both are. And then Azure monitor. I'm only interested in seeing the health status of these 8 services. I've applied my filter, right? So this way you can come here and always check for your service health issues, so that it tells you if there is anything wrong. Because what happens is, at times from your side, your application, your code, your database, everything is ready, but still they may not work. In such situation, before you hit Microsoft support, you can come here and check if there is any issue with the health of the services inside Microsoft data center is going on. To the same filter, you can also create any service health alert. That means to this filter, we cannot come here always create these filters. You can create service health alert. The same filters that we have applied, you apply that here and ask it to see 8 services selected, 4 regions, event type, service health issue. And then what actions you wanted to create. I mean, I wanted to notify if something happened, create a email notification, mention the details, and that's all create. It creates a service issue event notification. Also the planned maintenance activities. That means it's not us, but the Microsoft is planning for any maintenance activities. Also the same, into subscription, into what regions, okay, into what regions of what services you wanted to receive an health alert. Okay. So let's say Microsoft published a KB article or maybe a notification saying, hey, coming Monday, we are going to perform a major storage upgrade activity. This will be a non-destructive activity to the customers. However, it may cause unforeseen challenges or issues in minor cases. It is a update or a notification that Microsoft rolled out. Well, we've not looked at that community update or Microsoft update. Well, if you come here and configure the service health, because of their maintenance activities, if there is any issue, I mean, any maintenance activity that may likely to affect our services, it immediately sends a notification. So then advisories is about the general advices. Okay. Currently, there are no health advisories, also security advisories, but it is actually, this feeding comes from the Microsoft Defender, which is another service altogether. So from there, the inputs come here, and you can also create for the health advisories and security advisories. And you can also see here for the health history. So you see Azure Resource Manager, service issue, global. It affected all on 25th of August, 3 days ago. And one of the must ask interview question is, can you explain me a critical issue that you come across? Simple thing is, come here, see all the historical issues. The range is last month, last 3 months. In all last 3 months, this is the issue that has happened. So you can also go to the Microsoft documentation and see what issues have happened. Maybe you can mention, well, see the summary. Between so and so time, you were identified as a customer using ARM who may have experienced high number of request failures and timeout when making request to ARM. That means whenever you try to create a virtual machine, try to create any other resources, they have failed on that particular date and time. So, like I said, there is nothing wrong from our side. We have tried creating something, it failed. Well, it is because of an issue that happened at Microsoft side. Okay, you can say, sir, we were trying to do some XYZ. We have tried to do some XYZ, but it was continuously failing. I've looked at my entire configuration, my subscription management groups, resource groups, everything. It was fine. I've also went to the subscription and checked for the registered resources, registered services. Even the services have been registered with the subscription, so there is nothing wrong, from my side. But when I've looked at the Microsoft, health advisories, that's where I've identified that ARM across multiple accounts, they have an issue with Microsoft. So, or else you say there is nothing found from my side. I've logged a case with Microsoft support. 2 days after, they've come back saying that they had an issue. It is an issue at Microsoft side. So, I mean, not necessary for every question there is 100% correct answer, but your answer should mention the points where you normally go and check, right? What efforts you put in to resolve the issue, etc.